Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer, where we are going to break down what has to be one of the most chaotic, high-energy clashes in recent memory, the Women's VNL 2026 semifinal in Macau, China. Look, if you're a fan of high-stakes volleyball, tactical masterclasses, and just sheer, unfiltered athletic willpower, you are in exactly the right place. We're looking at a match that literally had absolutely everything. An epic semifinal highlight reel that pushed two legendary powerhouses right to the absolute limit.
Okay, let's dive right into this pressure cooker. And I want to start with the exact words of the commentator as this titanic match reached its absolute boiling point. All my days, what a nervy finish this is. Man, that quote just perfectly captures the pure electricity in the arena. You could physically feel the tension radiating off the court. But a finish that dramatic doesn't just happen out of nowhere. It's built on hours of grueling rallies, crazy momentum swings, and brilliant tactical adjustments. So before we hit that epic climax, we really need to understand exactly how we got there by tracing the wild momentum swings between these two incredibly matched squads. Setting the stage, we're in Macau, China, Brazil in blue, Italy in white. Now, these are two teams that know each other incredibly well, which means absolutely no secrets on the court. It was always going to come down to execution, defensive grit, and honestly, who could handle the pressure of a sudden death scenario when the margins were just razor thin.
Section 1. Clash of the Titans.
Right out of the gate, Italy established control by expertly neutralizing Brazil's early aggression. Looking at their Set 1 success, Italy utilized Combi, coming in flawlessly as a backup setter, which kept their offensive rhythm totally unpredictable. But more importantly, they shut down Brazil's hitters with this textbook split block. The commentators even noted that Brazil had absolutely no chance against it. Italy required just one side out at the end of the set, and they executed it beautifully to take that 1-0 lead.
Section 2. Trading blows early on.
But hey, Brazil wasn't about to just roll over. They started heavily utilizing the pipe attack. Now, as a quick refresher, this is that blazing fast offensive play where a back row attacker launches from near the 3-meter line. Brazil started using Ana Cristina in transition on the pipe, and wow, did it cause all kinds of trouble for the Italian defense. Suddenly, Italy's libero and blockers had to account for this high-speed threat coming right down the dead center of the court, really forcing their defense to stretch and scramble.
And it worked. Thanks to Ana Cristina's relentless pipe offense and Julia Bergman's absolutely fearless cuts towards the corner, Brazil broke through Italy's defensive line. Bergman was taking approaches to her left and still having the sheer bravery to cut back towards the corner against a massive Italian block. That aggression totally paid off. Brazil answered back to take set 2 25-21, tying the whole match at 1-all.
Section 3. The net touch turning point.
The stakes were peaking here, giving us what was undeniably the rally of the match. It started with this massive, just unbelievable dig by Italy's Celio to keep a seemingly dead ball alive. That naturally forced a frantic, desperate scramble from Brazil just to stay in system. And then it all culminated in an aggressive swing by Italy's Celia against Bergman, leading to a nail-biting challenge. There was immense confusion over a potential net touch involving the Italian middle blockers, Minova and Manfredini. It was chaotic, it was loud, and it was the absolute definition of high-stakes volleyball.
The tension was palpable. Seriously, you could cut the air with a knife as both teams pushed past that standard 25-point mark. But Brazil ultimately held their nerve. They denied the unstoppable Paola Egonu with a massive monster block to squeeze out a razor-thin 26-24 victory. So, suddenly, Brazil finds themselves in the driver's seat, up 2-1.
Section 4. Egonu forces a decider.
Finding themselves down and facing tournament elimination, Italy had to dig incredibly deep. Just listen to this quote from the broadcast.
That is the defining moment in this set. What a dig by Fino!
Look, if a ball hasn't touched the floor, the play isn't over. And Fino proved that Italy was willing to put their bodies on the line to keep their tournament hopes alive. This stunning defensive play shifted the momentum entirely. It fired at the Italian squad and completely deflated Brazil's attackers, who thought for sure they had put the ball away.
Capitalizing on that huge surge of defensive momentum, Italy's superstar Paola Egonu simply did what Egonu does best. She took over. When the pressure is on, she demands the ball, and she absolutely overpowered the Brazilian block. Italy took the set 25-21, deadlocking the match at 2 sets apiece and sending us right into the ultimate pressure cooker.
Before we hit that sudden death 5th set, we have to appreciate this incredible tactical duel unfolding on the court. On one side, you have Brazil's Ana Cristina.
She became the absolute go-to player, relying on precision hitting, utilizing the block by striking off the hands, and running those lethal transitional pipe attacks. On the exact opposite side, Italy's Paola Egunu. Pure, unstoppable raw power. Massive, heavy swings right when it mattered most. It was just a classic, beautiful matchup of finesse and speed versus overwhelming force.
Section 5. The final 15 points.
In a fifth set, there is absolutely zero margin for error. It's a sprint to just 15 points where every single touch carries the weight of the entire tournament. With the score deadlocked and the pressure pretty much unimaginable, the ultimate question was, who will break the tie? Which superstar would successfully execute under the brightest lights? Would it be the brute force of Eganu or the strategic precision of Anna Cristina? Both teams were totally exhausted, running purely on adrenaline and muscle memory.
In a breathless finish, the two superstars just traded blows. Eganu landed massive swings right in the middle of the court to keep Italy breathing, because of course she did.